My mother said my kids ruin everything. Your kids ruin everything here. I left one message on her answering machine, words she'd never forget, and vanished from her life. It's been a year. She has no idea where I am. Or what I've become. I'm not going to pretend I'm a victim. I'm not. I made choices. Cold choices. Calculated ones. The kind you make when you realize the only person who's going to save you is yourself. And if some bodies end up in your wake, well, that's their problem. My name is Natalie Harlow. I'm 34. I'm a nurse at Johns Hopkins Hospital in Baltimore. Or I was. Now I'm a department director. $38,000 more a year. Own a house in Canton. My kids have their own rooms for the first time in their lives. Quinn's 10 now. Ryder's 7, my mother, Beverly. She still thinks I live in that shitty apartment in Dundalk. That I can barely pay my bills. That I'm a divorced failure who can't handle raising 2 kids alone. She doesn't know anything. And she's gonna stay that way. Because I decided, consciously, coldly, that she doesn't deserve to even know where or how I am. Because it was her actions that led me to make this decision. So this new version of me, this new version of my life, she'll never know it. She only knew the version that crawled. And that's the only one she'll know until she dies. Cruel? Maybe. But let me tell you what happened a year ago. What she did. What I did. And you decide who the monster is here. March 14th, 2024. Sunday. Beverly called me for the 11th time that week. Not to ask how I was. Not to check on her grandkids. To tell me once again that Ryder and Quinn were too much of a burden. That my ex-husband Declan deserved better. That I was the problem. I'd just gotten an eviction notice. $400 rent increase. No warning. I was working double shifts at Johns Hopkins, but it wasn't enough. Declan was 3 months behind on child support. Bills were piling up. I hadn't slept right in weeks. Quinn had an asthma attack in the middle of the night. ER until 5 a.m. I called Beverly. My mother, the woman who raised me. I asked for help. Not money, just a temporary place. 3-4 months, until I could get back on my feet. Until I could find something within my budget. She said, I'll think about it. Come by Sunday, I went. Brought the kids. A few bags in the car just in case. Hopeful, naive, stupid. Ryder bumped into the sideboard reaching for a cookie. The blue porcelain vase, the one she loved more than her own grandchildren, tipped over. Didn't break. Just tilted. Beverly exploded. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Your kids ruin everything here. It wasn't the yelling. It was the look. That look of pure disgust. Like Ryder was an animal. Like I was a mistake she'd made 34 years ago and could never fix. I tried to calm things down. Mom, it didn't even break. He's 6. He didn't mean, I don't care. Every time you bring them here, something gets damaged. They're loud. They have no manners. You've raised them terribly, just like I knew you would. Quinn started crying. Ryder shrank behind me. And me? I felt something break inside. Not sadness. Not hurt. Anger. Cold anger. Crystal clear. The kind that doesn't scream. That plans. You are not moving in here. I will not have my home destroyed by your chaos. This house is my sanctuary. Sanctuary. She called that empty, cold house a sanctuary. The house my father left her before he died. The house where I grew up. Where my childhood memories live. Sanctuary. Mom, these are your grandchildren. Don't guilt trip me. You made your choices, marrying that loser, getting divorced. Now you want me to fix your problems? Griffin would never put me in this position. Griffin. My brother. The golden child. Who hadn't visited her in 2 years. Who barely called. But of course, Griffin would never put her in a difficult position. Because Griffin never needed anything from anyone. Because Griffin had everything handed to him on a silver platter his entire life. Get out. Take your kids and leave. And maybe don't come back until you get your life together. I gathered the kids with hands that didn't shake. Left without looking back. Didn't cry. Didn't yell. Didn't beg. Because something had died there. And what was being born in its place was cold. Dangerous. calculated. Quinn was sobbing in the back seat asking, "Why is Grandma so mean to us?" And I had no answer. Not yet. That night after I put the kids to bed, I made a decision. Cold, calculated, final. Comment if you've ever done something unforgivable because you felt you had no choice. Because what I did after that day, Griffin never forgave me, and I don't regret it. Subscribe because this story only gets worse from here. The next 3 months were survival mode. My coworker Leah let us crash on her couch for 2 weeks in Highlandtown. Quinn and Ryder shared a sleeping bag on the floor. Good woman. Asked no questions. Just made extra mac and cheese and pretended not to hear Quinn crying at night. I found a place in Dundalk. $450 a month. Ground floor apartment that smelled like cigarettes and mold. 2 bedrooms, generous term, more like closets with windows. The kids shared one. I took the other. Gunshots at night. Police sirens as background noise. The elementary school rated 3 out of 10. But it was what I could afford. I picked up every extra shift at Johns Hopkins. Nights, weekends, holidays. Missed Quinn's school play. Missed Ryder's soccer game, because missing didn't matter if we had a roof. Declan, still ghost on child support. His new girlfriend Amber posted Cancun vacation photos while my kids ate ramen 4 nights a week. I'm not bitter. Just factual. Beverly called once, 6 weeks after the blow-up. Short voicemail. Clipped tone. Just checking in. Hope you found somewhere to go. Call me when things settle down. Like this was a phase. Like I was a teenager who'd thrown a tantrum. I didn't call back. Quinn's asthma got worse. The mold was brutal. ER visits became weekly. $3,200 in medical bills by July. I worked overnight shifts 3 days a week. Slept 4 hours, woke up. Got the kids to school. Tried to smile. Tried to convince them everything was okay. It wasn't. Nobody cared. Not Declan. Not Beverly. Griffin sent 1 text in 3 months. Mom said you're being dramatic. Just apologize. Apologize for what? For asking my mother for help? For existing? But here's the thing about drowning. Eventually you stop fighting. You go numb. Or you do what I did. You plan. I started keeping a list. Everything Beverly said. Everything Griffin ignored. Every time Declan failed. Every broken promise. I wrote it down. Dated it. Documented it. Was I planning revenge? Not yet. Just keeping score. Because somewhere in the back of my mind, I knew. If I ever clawed my way back up, they wouldn't get to see it. They wouldn't benefit from it. They'd only know the version of me they destroyed. Quinn asked me once during this time, she was 9, "Mommy, are we poor?" Already aware we didn't have what other kids had. That her clothes came from Goodwill. That her birthday was 3 friends at a public park with store-brand cake. I told her, "We're gonna be okay, baby. I promise." And for the first time in my life, I meant it. Not because I believed in hope, but because I believed in myself and what I was willing to do to survive. August 2024, Johns Hopkins called me into the director's office. I thought I was getting fired. I'd missed 2 shifts because Quinn was hospitalized. I was exhausted, making small mistakes. I walked in prepared to beg for my job. Dr. Patricia Weaver offered me a promotion instead. Department director, case management, $38,000 salary increase, better hours, stability, health benefits upgrade, start date October 1st. I stared at her waiting for the punchline. There wasn't one. She said, "You've earned this, Natalie. Your patient outcomes are exceptional. Whatever you're going through right now, and I know it's something, you've never let it affect your work. That's rare. I did the math immediately. That was rent, medical bills, Quinn's inhaler without rationing, Ryder's new shoes instead of duct-taped hand-me-downs. I accepted on the spot. I left that office, sat in my car in the parking garage, and cried. Not sad tears, relief, rage, vindication. And then I thought about Beverly. Her smug face when she kicked us out. Griffin texting me to stop being dramatic. Declan posting vacation photos. They would never know. The promotion. The raise. The new life I was building. None of them would know. Beverly would keep thinking I was barely surviving in Dundalk. Griffin would keep thinking I was the dramatic failure. Declan would keep thinking I was desperate, because fuck them. That same week, my lawyer called about the car accident lawsuit from 2 years ago. Drunk driver. Fractured collarbone. I'd forgotten about it. We settled. After fees, $180,000. I almost dropped the phone. The check was being mailed that week. I recalculated everything. Promotion plus settlement, $18,000 in total life change. In 1 week, I could pay off every debt, buy a house, give my kids the life they deserved, and never tell Beverly or Griffin a goddamn thing. I told Quinn and Ryder we were moving. Somewhere better. Somewhere safe. Somewhere that's ours. Ryder asked, "Can we tell Grandma?" I looked at his little face. He still remembered that day. The vase, the yelling. The way Beverly looked at him like he was garbage. I said, "No, baby, Grandma doesn't need to know." Quinn, sharper than any 9-year-old should be, asked, "Are we hiding from her?" I chose my words carefully. "We're not hiding. We're moving forward. Without people who made us feel small." She nodded. Understood. I found a 3-bedroom townhouse in Canton. Safe neighborhood. Good schools. A backyard. Actual sunlight. The realtor asked if I had family in the area. I said no, and it felt true. Because blood doesn't make you family. Loyalty does. I closed September 15th, 2024. Quinn and Ryder ran through the empty house screaming with joy. Their voices echoed off their own walls. Their own home, and Beverly had no idea. None. I'd executed my plan perfectly, meticulously, coldly. What I didn't know yet? The consequences were about to catch up. And when they did, my perfect control would shatter. I changed my phone number, blocked Beverly, Griffin, and Declan everywhere. Social media, email, LinkedIn, completely erased myself from their access. I became a ghost. Beverly tried calling the old number for weeks. I know because Leah told me. Beverly called the hospital asking for me. They said I no longer worked in that department and couldn't give out information. She showed up at my old Dundalk apartment. New tenants didn't know me. Griffin texted Leah asking where I was. "Mom's worried." Leah played dumb. "Haven't heard from her in months, sorry." The truth. I was 7 miles away in Canton, living in a house Beverly didn't know existed, making $76,000 a year in a job she didn't know I had, thriving in a life she thought was impossible for me. Quinn started therapy with Dr. Ramos, weekly sessions. Child psychologist specializing in family trauma. Quinn talked about Beverly, about feeling rejected, about wondering why her grandma didn't love her. Dr. Ramos asked if I'd considered reaching out to my mother for Quinn's sake. I said, no, for Quinn's sake. Because protecting your kids sometimes means cutting off family. Even grandparents who teach them they're not good enough. Ryder started club soccer. Real uniforms. Weekend tournaments. Scored 3 goals his first game. Ran to me screaming, "Mom, did you see? Did you see?" I saw, I was there. Every game, every practice. Because I had stable hours now. Because I wasn't drowning anymore. November. I ran into Melissa Brennan at Canton Farmers Market. High school friend. Lost touch after marriage. She asked about Beverly. Ran into her at Wegmans last month. She seemed stressed. I kept my face neutral. I wouldn't know. We don't talk. Melissa's eyes widened. Before we parted, she mentioned Beverly was having surgery soon. Hip replacement. Seemed scared. I felt nothing. No guilt, no concern. Just nothing. I said, I hope it goes well for her. Flat. Emotionless. Because I meant it. I genuinely hoped her surgery went fine. I just didn't care to be involved. There's a difference. That night, Quinn asked, "Do you miss Grandma?" Honest question deserved honest answer. "No, baby, I don't." She asked, "Do you think she misses us?" I thought about it really carefully. Maybe. But missing someone and loving them right are different things. She might miss us. But she never loved us the way we needed. Quinn absorbed that, nodded. Okay, kids understand more than we think. Quinn understood. Ryder understood. We were better off without Beverly. Without Griffin. Without people who made us feel small. December. First Christmas in our new house. Real 7-foot Fraser fir. Quinn and Ryder decorated with ornaments we picked together. Baked cookies. Watched movies. Built a life that was ours. Beverly sent a card. Generic Hallmark. Wishing you peace this season. Love, Mom. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just peace. I threw it away without opening it in front of the kids. That's when I knew I'd never let her back in. Not because I hated her, but because I'd built something beautiful without her, and she didn't deserve access to it. January 2025. 3 months into my new life. Everything was stable. Quinn's grades improved. Ryder made friends on his soccer team. Dr. Weaver praised me constantly. Life was normal, but normal doesn't last. Beverly found out. Not everything. Not the house. Not the full promotion, but enough to start digging. She ran into my old coworker Jessica at Towson Town Center. Jessica casually mentioned something about my promotion to director. Beverly's face apparently went white. She pressed for details. Jessica realized her mistake, tried to backtrack, left quickly. But the damage was done. Beverly started calling Johns Hopkins directly. Asked for me by name. They transferred her to my department. My assistant Tara answered with Director Harlow's office, how can I help you? Beverly hung up immediately. But she'd heard enough. Tara told me about it later. Some woman named Beverly Harlow has been trying to reach you. Says she's your mother. Should I add her to your contact list? I kept my voice steady. No, if she calls again, tell her I'm unavailable. Tara didn't ask questions. Just nodded. Got it. Beverly found Leah's number somehow. Left a voicemail. Her voice cracking with frustration and something that almost sounded like panic. Leah, it's Beverly. I know you know where Natalie is. I know something's happened, something good, and she's keeping it from me. I just want to talk to my daughter, please. Leah forwarded it to me. I listened once. Deleted it, then Griffin got involved. Sent an email from a new address I hadn't blocked yet. Subject line, seriously? The body was short and accusatory. Mom's losing her mind. She knows you got promoted. She knows you're doing well. And you're just ignoring her? After everything she's done for you? This is childish, Natalie. Grow up. After everything she's done for you. The words burned. Like kicking me and her grandkids out wasn't everything. Like calling them burdens wasn't everything. I replied once. Short, direct. Griffin, she told me my kids ruin everything. She refused to help us when we had nowhere to go. She chose a porcelain vase over her grandchildren. I don't owe her anything. And neither do you. Stop pretending you care. Sent. Blocked. Moved on. But the cracks were showing. Beverly wasn't going to let this go. She was going to find me eventually. Find the house. Find the kids' school. Find the life I'd built. It was only a matter of time. I scheduled a session with Dr. Ramos. Not for Quinn this time. For me, I needed guidance. I told her Beverly was going to show up eventually, and I didn't know what to do. Dr. Ramos asked a simple question. What do you want to do? Tell her to leave, permanently. And what's stopping you? I thought about it. Guilt, social expectation. The idea that I'm supposed to forgive her because she's my mother. Dr. Ramos leaned forward. Do you want to forgive her? No. Then don't. You don't owe anyone forgiveness, Natalie. Especially not someone who hurt your children. You've built a safe life for them. Protect it. I left that session feeling lighter, clearer, ready, because when Beverly showed up and she would, I wasn't going to cave. I wasn't going to feel guilty. I was going to tell her exactly what she needed to hear. How far would you go to protect the life you built from the people who tried to destroy you? Leave a like if you know the answer. February 12th, Tuesday afternoon. I was leaving Johns Hopkins after a department meeting. Walking to my car in the parking garage. Level 3, Section B. That's when I saw her. Beverly. leaning against my car, arms crossed, face tight with anger and something else. Desperation, maybe. She'd been waiting, hunting. My stomach dropped. But I didn't run, didn't turn around. I walked straight to her with my chin up and my keys in my hand. She saw me coming. Straightened up. Her mouth opened before I even reached her. "Natalie, finally!" I stopped 3 feet away. Said nothing. Just stared. "I've been trying to reach you for months," she continued, voice shaking slightly. "You changed your number. Blocked me everywhere. I had to track down where you work just to see my own daughter. How did you find me?" She blinked. Thrown off by my tone. Flat. Cold. "Jessica mentioned your promotion. I called the hospital. They transferred me to your department. Director Harlow." She said it like an accusation. "Why didn't you tell me?" I tilted my head. "Why would I?" That landed. Her face twitched. "Because I'm your mother. Because family tells each other things? Because family?" I cut her off. "You kicked me and your grandchildren out of your house. You told me my kids ruin everything. You refused to help us when we were about to be homeless. And now you want family updates?" Beverly's jaw tightened. She tried a different approach. Softer voice. "I know I said things I shouldn't have. I was stressed. I didn't mean, yes, you did. You meant every word." Silence. She couldn't argue. "Because I was right." Then she shifted tactics again. "I heard you bought a house. In Canton. That you got promoted. That you're doing... well." Her voice cracked on that last word. Not with pride. With something bitter. "And you didn't think I deserved to know?" Deserved? I almost laughed. "No, Beverly. You don't deserve to know. You don't deserve access to this version of my life. You only knew me when I was drowning. When I needed you. And you turned me away. So now that I'm thriving, you don't get to see it." Her eyes filled with tears. Real ones or performed ones, I couldn't tell. Didn't care. "That's cruel, Natalie." "No," I said quietly. "What's cruel is telling a 6-year-old boy he ruins everything. What's cruel is choosing a vase over your grandchildren. What's cruel is kicking out your daughter when she had nowhere else to go." Beverly's mouth opened. Closed. No words came. I unlocked my car. "Don't come here again. Don't call. Don't show up at my house, and yes, I know you'll try to find it. But if you do, I'll call the police. I'm done, Mom. Completely done." I got in my car. She stood there frozen. I didn't look back as I drove away. But in my rearview mirror, I saw her crumple. Hands on her knees. Shoulders shaking, and I felt nothing. Not guilt. Not satisfaction. Just nothing. I thought the parking garage confrontation would be the end. That Beverly would finally understand and leave me alone. I was wrong. 3 days later, Griffin showed up at my house. I don't know how he got the address. Maybe Beverly hired someone. Maybe he tracked down property records. Doesn't matter. He found me. I was home alone. Quinn and Ryder were at school. I heard the doorbell. Looked through the peephole. Griffin. Standing there in his perfect suit. Lawyer face on. "Ready for battle." I didn't open the door. He rang again. Then knocked. "Natalie, I know you're in there. Your car's in the driveway. Open the door." I stood there silent, watching him through the peephole. Waiting for him to leave. He didn't leave. He pulled out his phone. Called me. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I didn't answer. He left a voicemail. I played it later that night. His voice was tight with controlled anger. "You're being ridiculous. Mom had surgery yesterday. Hip replacement. She's alone. She's scared. And you're just, what? Hiding in your perfect little house, pretending we don't exist? Do you know how selfish that is? She's your mother, Natalie. She made mistakes. We all make mistakes. But you're taking this too far. You're punishing her for being human. Call her, visit her, or at least have the decency to tell me why you won't." I deleted the voicemail. Blocked his number, again, but his words stayed with me. Not because he was right, but because he confirmed something I'd suspected. Beverly was alone. Griffin wasn't there. He wasn't helping her recover. He was just playing messenger, trying to guilt me into doing the work he wouldn't do himself. Classic Griffin. A week later, Beverly sent a letter. Not a card this time. A handwritten letter. 4 pages. Front and back. I almost threw it away without reading it. But curiosity won. The letter was a mess. Rambling. Emotional. Parts of it were apologies. Parts were accusations. She said she was sorry for what she said that day. That she was stressed. That she didn't mean it. That she loved Quinn and Ryder and me. That family should forgive each other. Then in the next paragraph, she said I was ungrateful. That she'd sacrificed so much raising me. That I was cruel for cutting her off. That I was turning her grandchildren against her. That I was being vindictive and cold. The letter ended with a plea. Please, Natalie. I'm your mother. I need you. Don't do this to me. I read it twice. Then I put it in a drawer. Didn't respond. Didn't react. Just filed it away with the rest of the evidence of who she really was. That night, Quinn asked me if Grandma was sick. Someone at school, a friend whose mom knew someone who knew Beverly, had mentioned it. Small world. Smaller town, I told Quinn the truth. Yes, she had surgery. She's recovering. Quinn looked at me carefully. Are you going to help her? No, baby. Why not? I crouched down to her level. Because people who hurt you don't get unlimited chances. You can love someone from a distance. You can wish them well. But you don't have to set yourself on fire to keep them warm. Quinn nodded slowly, processing. Then she said something that broke my heart and put it back together at the same time. I'm glad we don't see her anymore. She made me feel bad, and that. Right there. That's why I did what I did. For her, for Ryder, for me. We were better off without Beverly, and no amount of guilt or social pressure was going to change that. March came. Then April. Then May. Beverly stopped trying to contact me directly. The calls stopped. The letters stopped. The emails stopped. Griffin stopped showing up. It was like they'd finally accepted it, or so I thought. I heard through Melissa, the friend from the farmer's market, that Beverly had moved. Sold the house in Roland Park, the big house, the sanctuary, my childhood home. She moved into a smaller condo in Towson, closer to medical facilities. Easier to maintain. Part of me wondered if she sold it because she needed the money, or because it was too big and empty without anyone visiting. I didn't ask. Didn't care enough to find out. Melissa also mentioned that Griffin rarely visited Beverly. Maybe once a month. That Beverly complained about it constantly. That she felt abandoned by both her children. I felt nothing hearing that. No vindication, no guilt, just nothing. Like she was a stranger whose life story I was hearing secondhand. Which, in a way, she was. Life moved on. Quinn turned 10. We had a party at our house. 12 kids from her school, pizza, cake, games in the backyard. She laughed so hard she cried. It was perfect, and Beverly wasn't there to ruin it with passive-aggressive comments or criticism. Ryder's soccer team made it to the regional finals. I took time off work to drive him to the tournament in Richmond. We stayed in a hotel, swam in the pool, ate room service breakfast. He talked nonstop about his teammates and his goals and his dreams. And I listened. Really listened. Because I had the time and energy to be present. Work was thriving. Dr. Weaver promoted me again. Associate Director of Patient Services, another $15,000 raise. I was making $91,000 a year, more than I ever imagined. More than Beverly thought I was capable of. I started dating someone. His name was Marcus, ironic, I know. Different Marcus. He was a teacher at Quinn's school. Kind, patient, good with kids. We took things slow. He met Quinn and Ryder after 3 months. They liked him. He didn't try too hard. Didn't push. Just existed in our space comfortably. One night over dinner at my house, Marcus asked about my family. Do your parents live nearby? I kept my voice casual. My dad passed away years ago. My mom and I don't talk. He nodded. Didn't press. Just said, I'm sorry, and meant it. That's when I knew he was different. He didn't need the full story. Didn't demand explanations. Just accepted it. Summer came. We took a trip to Ocean City. Just the 4 of us. Me, Quinn, Ryder, and Marcus. We built sandcastles, played in the waves, ate boardwalk fries, watched the sunset from our hotel balcony. Quinn asked if we could do this every year. I said yes, and in those moments, those small, perfect moments, I realized something. I'd built the life I always wanted, without Beverly, without Griffin, without anyone who made me feel small or broken or insufficient. I'd done it. And it felt good. Really good, but something was missing. Not Beverly, not reconciliation, something else, something darker. A nagging feeling that this wasn't over, that the silence was temporary, that the storm was just gathering strength, and I was right. September 2025, 18 months since I'd cut Beverly off. 18 months of peace, of stability, of building something beautiful. Then I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Baltimore area code. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. Is this Natalie Harlow? A woman's voice? Professional? Clinical? Yes. Who's this? My name is Karen Fletcher. I'm a social worker with Baltimore County Adult Protective Services. I'm calling about your mother, Beverly Harlow. My stomach dropped. What about her? She was found unconscious in her home 3 days ago by a neighbor. She'd fallen. Broken hip, the other one. She's been hospitalized. She's stable now, but she needs care. Long-term care. And she listed you as her emergency contact. I almost laughed. Emergency contact, after everything. I'm not her emergency contact. Try my brother, Griffin Harlow. Karen's voice softened. We did. He said he's unable to take responsibility for her care. He suggested we contact you. Of course he did. Of course Griffin passed the burden. Again. I can't help her, I said. Flat. Final. Ms. Harlow, your mother is going to need assistance when she's discharged. She can't live alone. She qualifies for assisted living, but someone needs to make decisions about her care. Power of attorney. Medical decisions. Financial arrangements. Then Griffin can do it. Or the state can do it. I'm not involved. There was a pause. Then Karen said something that made my blood run cold. Your mother is asking for you. She says she needs to talk to you. That she has something to tell you before, well, she said it's important. Before what? Before she dies? Was she dying? I didn't ask. Didn't want to know. I'm sorry, I said. I can't help you. And I hung up. I sat on my couch for an hour staring at nothing. Marcus was at work. Kids were at school. It was just me and the silence and the weight of that phone call. Beverly was alone, broken, in a hospital, asking for me. And I felt, what, guilt? No, anger? Not quite. Exhaustion? Maybe. The exhaustion of knowing this moment was always coming. That no matter how far I ran, she'd find a way to pull me back. Quinn came home from school that afternoon, saw my face, asked what was wrong. I told her the truth. Grandma's in the hospital. She fell. She's asking for me. Quinn's face went carefully neutral. Are you going to see her? I don't know. Do you want to? Did I? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Part of me wanted to walk into that hospital room and tell Beverly exactly what her choices had cost her. Part of me wanted to just let it go. Let her fade away without me. And part of me, a small, stupid part, wanted to hear what she had to say. What could possibly be so important? I don't know, I said again. Quinn hugged me. Tight. Whatever you do, Mom, I trust you. And that's what broke me. Not Beverly's fall, not the guilt trip from the social worker, but my daughter's trust. Her belief that whatever I chose would be the right thing. Even if it was cold. Even if it was cruel. Even if it was walking away. I called Karen back that night. I'll come, once, but I'm not making any promises. She gave me the hospital name. Room number. Visiting hours. I wrote it down mechanically. And then I sat with the knowledge that tomorrow I'd see Beverly again, for the first time in 18 months. And I had no idea what I was going to say. You think this story ends with me vindicated, with Beverly learning her lesson, with me walking away satisfied. That's not what happened. What happened was messier, scarier. Because when you plan everything perfectly, you forget one thing. You can't control how you'll feel when it's over. I walked into that hospital room at 2 p.m. on a Thursday, Hopkins Bayview, room 347. Beverly was in the bed by the window, smaller than I remembered, grayer, older. The machines beeped steadily. An IV drip hung beside her. She saw me. Her eyes filled with tears immediately. "Natalie, you came." I stood at the foot of her bed, didn't sit, didn't move closer. "I'm here." "What did you want to tell me?" She tried to smile. It came out broken. "I'm sorry, for everything. I was wrong, about you, about the kids, about all of it. I should have helped you when you needed me. You should have loved me unconditionally," I said quietly. "But you didn't. And now you're here. Alone. And you want me to fix it." Her face crumpled. "I don't want you to fix anything. I wanted to see you. To tell you I'm proud of you. That you were right. You got your life together. Without me. And I was wrong to doubt you." I stood there absorbing her words, waiting to feel something. Vindication. Satisfaction. Closure. But there was nothing, just emptiness. "Is that all?" I asked. She looked confused. "What do you mean? Is that all you wanted to say? Because if so, I need to go. I have to pick up my kids from school." Beverly's face went pale. "Natalie, please. Don't leave like this. I need you to forgive me. I need to know we're okay." I took a breath. Let it out slowly. "We're not okay, Beverly. We're never going to be okay. You hurt me. You hurt my children. And now you're scared because you're alone and you realize Griffin isn't going to save you. But that's not my problem. You made your choices. These are the consequences. Natalie, I hope your recovery goes well. I hope you find peace. But I'm not going to be part of it. Goodbye, Mom." I turned to leave. She called after me. "Please, don't do this. I'm your mother." I stopped at the door, looked back one last time. You were my mother. Past tense. Now you're just someone I used to know. I left. Walked through the hospital corridors. Got in my car. Drove home. And when I got there, Quinn and Ryder were waiting. Marcus had picked them up, made them snacks, helped with homework. They ran to me when I walked in, hugged me, asked if I was okay. I was. I really was. 3 months later, Beverly moved into assisted living. Griffin handled the paperwork. I heard about it through Melissa. I didn't visit, didn't call, didn't send a card. I just lived my life. And here's the thing they don't tell you about cutting off family. It doesn't feel like freedom right away. It feels like loss, like guilt, like failure. But eventually, slowly, it starts to feel like peace. Did I do the right thing? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Some people will say I should have forgiven her. That family is everything. That blood is thicker than water. But those people didn't watch their 6-year-old son get called a burden. Didn't sleep on a couch with 2 kids because their mother chose a vase over them. So I made my choice. Cold, calculated, final. And I live with it every day. Some days I feel nothing. Some days I wonder if I went too far. But most days I just feel. Free comment if you think I was right to walk away. Or if you think I should have forgiven her. Because honestly, I'm still not sure.